Dear Gibson, it's been an amazing 119 years. From your humble beginnings as a mandolin builder and your invention of the archtop guitar to the soaring heights of the 1950s and 1960s. Then with the years we don't really need to talk about in the 70s and the 2000s. Gibson, you've been through a lot. You were there at the beginning when rock music became the forefront of artist expression, giving people a tool to help change the world. Your change from using the traditional Les Paul shape to the SG was groundbreaking. Sure, you pissed off some people with that move, and it took a little while for people to get past that, but I don't think anyone could have foreseen the impact that switch made on our community. How it impacted you. SG is, quite frankly, your bread and butter now, and without that change and foresight, you wouldn't be where you are today. You've done a lot of great things in the past, Gibson, and the world loves you from that era. But I want to talk to you about your future, because I believe you are on the brink of greatness. This brand new record thing that you're starting, your new partnership with Mesa Boogie, let me just say I'm very impressed with your tenacity. You've always wanted to be more than just a guitar manufacturing company. Your legacy has been firmly etched into the halls of Guitar Pantheon, not only as one of the most important guitar companies of all time, but it's because of the first true gift that you gave to the world, your 1950s Les Paul. This guitar is the holy grail from both a collector's perspective and a tonal perspective, and that is in no way merely my opinion. It's completely and utterly the objective truth. But let's get real here for a second. There was that weird era where you wanted to get into audio gear and become a lifestyle company. I get it. That's what all the cool kids were talking about, but it just wasn't you. It wasn't the real you that I've known for so long. I also thought you were crazy the first night you were talking about the idea of buying Mesa Boogie. I mean, you were up all night spraying guitars in a poorly ventilated garage. I thought you were about to go down that fantasy land of becoming a lifestyle music brand again. But looking back on that night and how well you've handled the rollout, I'm quite impressed. And now I know that was the right choice. I mean, look at Fender. They've had the whole guitar manufacturing and amp building thing for their entire life. And I know you don't like me talking about my first guitar like that, but it's the truth. Fender had a really good budget amp and guitar bundle. But maybe that's something you can get into now. Help the younger players find their first love. When you're that young, you think that's what you really want. Something that's bundled together. But it takes a few great guitars to truly know what your heart truly wants. And for me, Gibson, that's you. I'm truly impressed with your new record company. And I think this will be a great platform for the artists that you like and support. I mean, is there a more loved and respected guitar player out there who is still putting out amazing content, such as Slash? Great choice, Gibson. Great choice. And I say all of this to say I think you finally changed. I think you're finally listening to me. To us. Your fans. The 2000s were an interesting time. There were those robot guitars. The tuners were odd, though I'll be the first to admit if you're constantly changing tunings, they kind of make some sense. But ever since that day of turmoil in 2018, I've seen a new Gibson. One that is finally ready to change and to listen to its fans. And that makes me happy. There is one request I might make, and it's more of a helping you, or rather guiding you, because I want you to succeed and be back on top. I think you need to help bridge the gap between the Epiphone line of instruments and the core standard line. I think you can do it. You have the potential. You already make a great Les Paul in the studio range, but what about the studio version of a Firebird that you used to make? Or a studio model of the Flying V or the Explorer? Or even a junior line of those three instruments? Now don't get me wrong, the Les Paul and SG ranges are fantastic. But how about showing off your other iconic designs and some budget-friendly models as well? I don't want you to take these suggestions negatively. I love what you're doing lately, and I think you've really turned your life around. I'm just offering some new ideas for the future. Gibson, I'm really proud of you. You've overcome your FOMO and your lifestyle addiction, and I see a brand that wants to be back on top and is heading in the right direction. I just wanted to offer some new ideas to look at it in the future. If you ever want to talk about them or discuss other ideas, you know where to find me. Keep up the great work. Yours truly.